Big news today. The Bruins announced this morning that goaltender Tuukka Rask has opted out. He has gone home. Here's what he had to say about this situation. Their general manager, Don Sweeney, had a press conference. He pointed out there are 3 young children at home, including a newborn. Everyone's healthy, but they do respect this decision by number 40. Mike, your thoughts?
This puts Tuukka Rask in a unique, if unusual position. Others have opted not to enter the bubble, most with health reasons, but others have left the bubble for childbirth or for health reasons or various reasons, but nobody has simply opted to just leave the bubble because they didn't want to be here and they needed to be with their family. I would not have done it. The rest of the league's players have not done it. I think this will be in a city that hasn't really embraced Tuukka Rask despite his success, a city that I grew up in. I played and coached there for 20 years and live there now. This is going to be a difficult decision to swallow for Boston Bruins fans.
Okay, Bush, so let's get to that. Inside their room, what do you think's going on?
Well, listen, I think guys in the locker room, I'm sure, are disappointed. They wanted Tuukka Rask to be here with them, competing for a Stanley Cup. But at the end, and I'm sure it was a topic of discussion amongst teammates at dinner last night, but the bottom line is you have to respect when it comes to family decisions. And for Tuukka Rask, if he wasn't able to stay mind-free and play hockey here and play at his 100% capabilities, he has to make that hard decision. So what do the Boston Bruins do now? They have to have a next man up mentality. It certainly puts Yaroslav Halak in a tough situation. If I'm a teammate inside that locker room, my call to my teammates is, let's rally around Yaroslav Halak and let's see if we can win one for him and find a way to get some confidence going with him in goal. That to me is what you have to do.
I would have respected it a lot more if he decided not to enter the bubble instead of leaving his team in a lurch in the middle of this tournament. That's a little different.
Can they win without him?
They can win without him. Their chances aren't as good. Without Tuukka Rask, he's clearly the number one goalie for a reason.
Just obviously want to open with following up on Tuukka Rask's statement this morning that he has decided to leave the NHL playoffs and bubble and head to be back with his family. And we understand completely where Tuukka's coming from. I don't think it's any big surprise to us, to be honest with you. We're privy to information maybe before the rest of the public is, and this has been a difficult decision for Tuukka, but the Boston Bruins are in full support of why he made this decision. Nothing specific to his direct comments. I think you can rightfully infer that Tuukka was having some tough time being away in this environment, and nothing against what the NHL has put together and the intensity of the playoffs. This is playoff hockey. I mean, let's make no mistake about it. The stakes are high, and the players are invested. And Tuukka, in his own right, felt that he needed to be elsewhere, and rather than being here in this current situation. And he's the same goaltender that went to the Stanley Cup Finals in a Game 7 last year and taking a team. And he'll be the same player, when we get up and running again next year. But at this point in time, the two aren't related.
From an organizational standpoint, nothing about this restart, nothing about life in the bubble and August hockey is easy. But this decision in particular, front office perspective, how do you think this was handled from Thursday to this point now?
Well, it certainly came to a head. I don't think there's any doubt about it after you lost the game for the Boston Bruins. And, if I was running the organization, and I think you saw that from Don Sweeney, is look, this isn't a surprise to the Boston Bruins. He used the word privy, right? They knew that there was probably some doubt about Tuukka being a part of the bubble. So you see his comments, and that's concerning because as an organization leader, you're not only worried about, most importantly, the individual and the family, first and foremost, always. But then you have to worry about everybody else that is invested as an organization about trying to win a Stanley Cup. So really what I would have done is you hear his comments, you say, look, I need to talk to you tomorrow. You have the heart-to-heart and say, look, where is your head? Where is your heart? And you let him make the decision because you have to worry about everybody else because you got 29 other guys, coaches, trainers, everybody saying, look, we're trying to win. And I don't want to use the word distraction in a disrespectful way, but certainly when you have guys in there and you have a guy that that wants to be with his family, and that is most important, is if that's what you need to do, then that's what you need to do. So I'm sure they probably met with the core of the team, Big Z, Bergeron, Marchand, the coaches, obviously, and said, look, He's going to make his decision, and then we have to move on. So again, from the management point of view, is you got to take care of everybody else, but first and foremost, you got to do right by the player. And if he feels he needs to be home, then you let him go home, and then you got to move on. This could be a galvanizing time, and I think Bush kind of touched on it, where the rest of the team kind of galvanizes around Tuukka and Jarro Halak and go from there.
It was another reason why I think this will be the toughest Stanley Cup championship to win. You think about the times we're living in right now. A lot of good people are losing their jobs. Thousands of people are dying. Guys are stuck in the bubble away from their family, and they're competing for the chance to win a Stanley Cup champion. Pandemic or not, NHL players don't get paid during the playoffs. So you think about the focus guys have to be in that bubble away from their families for an extended period of time. I mean, those check all the boxes to me, Edzo, in terms of why this will be the toughest championship to win because of all those factors.
Yeah, Pete DeBoer, the Vegas Golden Knights coach, said that a big factor in winning this whole thing is getting guys to sort of embrace the idea that not only is this difficult, but just the living situation is going to be difficult going forward.
And communication is so important in this because this is a psychological challenge for everybody being inside these bubbles. Look, if you're a young guy, you know, you just got to worry about yourself and you have your folks or whoever. But if you have family and you have kids like Tuukka does, there's a lot of distraction here.
Tough.
And it's not easy. It is absolutely not easy. And every player has the right to do what's right for him and his family, first and foremost. And the teams have to understand. And the Boston Bruins certainly support Tuukka Rask.
Could be a type of situation where it's best for Tuukka Rask, best for his family, and potentially best for the Bruins going forward.